Did you know that the food you eat could be affecting your sleep? And not just that, oh, I shouldn't have had that extra spicy burrito before bed kind of way. We're talking about something far more insidious. Something lurking in the shadows of our agricultural system like a sleep-deprived genetically modified boogeyman. Let's dive into some shocking facts about genetically modified foods, neurotoxins, and sleep apnea. A condition that affects hundreds of millions, yet we seem content with blaming it on getting older or carrying a few extra pounds. But what if I told you that our increasing reliance on GMOs, particularly those doused with a certain herbicide, might play a much more sinister role than we ever imagined? Buckle up because things are about to get weird. Now, I'm not one for conspiracy theories, but there's a rather unsettling correlation that's hard to ignore. You see, the countries with the highest consumption of genetically modified foods, China, the United States, Brazil, and India, are also the countries with the highest levels of sleep apnea. Coincidence? Perhaps, but let's be honest. If this were a Scooby-Doo episode, we'd already be eyeing that suspiciously shaped box of GMO cornflakes with extreme suspicion. Here's where things get a bit more technical. Our nervous system is an intricate network of nerves that are incredibly vulnerable to damage from, you guessed it, neurotoxins. These nasty little buggers can disrupt the delicate balance of your nervous system, leading to a whole host of problems. Think of it like this. Your nervous system is like a finely tuned orchestra. And neurotoxins are the tone-deaf elephant that just barged in, blowing its trunk. The result? Chaos, confusion, and a whole lot of missed cues. Now, let's talk about the vagus nerve. No, it's not some obscure Harry Potter spell. Though its importance is pretty magical. It's the longest of the cranial nerves, stretching all the way from your brain stem down to your gut. This is no ordinary nerve. It's more like an information superhighway, constantly relaying messages between your brain and your vital organs. Now, here's where things get really interesting in the context of our sleep-disrupting saga. You see, the vagus nerve plays a crucial role in regulating your airway, ensuring you don't suffocate in your sleep. The vagus nerve contains sensory neurons that are incredibly sensitive to changes in your airway pressure. So when you're peacefully slumbering and your airway starts to collapse, as it unfortunately does with sleep apnea, the vagus nerve sends out an SOS signal to your brain, triggering a gasp reflex to jolt you awake and get that airway open again. It's a life-saving reflex for sure, but a jarring way to be woken up several times a night. Now remember those neurotoxins we talked about earlier? Well, it's time to introduce the main villain of our story, glyphosate. This widely used herbicide found in the ever-so-popular Roundup has a nasty habit of wreaking havoc on our nervous systems. It's like the guest who shows up uninvited, spills red wine on your carpet, and then tries to convince you it's good for the fabric. But wait, there's more. Besides messing with your nervous system, glyphosate also has a bone to pick with your gut. You see, our guts are home to trillions of bacteria, and while some bacteria are best avoided with a 10-foot pole, these little guys are actually essential to our well-being. They help us digest food, boost our immune system, and even play a role in our mental health. But glyphosate doesn't discriminate. It mows down good and bad bacteria, leaving your gut microbiome looking like a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Now you might be wondering, what does all this have to do with sleep apnea? Well, remember how we talked about how the vagus nerve is essential for regulating your airway during sleep? It turns out that when your nervous system is under attack from neurotoxins like glyphosate, it can disrupt the delicate balance of neurotransmitters in your brain. This can lead to a whole host of problems, including, you guessed it, increased anxiety. And everyone knows that anxiety and a good night's sleep are about as compatible as a cat in a bathtub. So how exactly is this neurotoxin-laden gut-busting herbicide making its way into our food supply? Well, glyphosate is the most widely used herbicide in the world. It's sprayed liberally on genetically modified crops like corn, soy, and canola. These crops, in turn, find their way into countless processed foods. From breakfast cereals to salad dressings to that wonderful-looking veggie burger. But the stakes are much higher because these grains are also used as animal feed for beef, chickens, fish, and more. It's practically in everything we call the modern American diet. But it doesn't stop there. Farmers have also started using glyphosate as a drying agent, particularly on grains like wheat, barley, and oats. That's right. That comforting bowl of pasta, bottle of beer, or slice of toast you enjoy might just be harboring traces of this unwelcome guest. It's enough to make you want to swear off food altogether. But fear not, we'll get to solutions soon. Now, let's delve deeper into the science behind sleep apnea's biochemical signature. Studies have shown that people with this condition often have an imbalance of certain neurotransmitters in their brains. They specifically have high levels of glutamate and low levels of GABA. Glutamate is like the brain's accelerator, keeping you alert and focused, while GABA acts as the brake pedal, promoting relaxation and sleep. In sleep apnea sufferers, this delicate balance is thrown out of whack, leading to a state of constant overstimulation. It's like trying to fall asleep at a rave. Possible, perhaps, but definitely not ideal. Here's why your gut biome has a big role in sleep. Remember those gut microbiomes that glyphosate so rudely decimated? Well, it turns out your gut plays a crucial role in producing GABA, that all-important sleep-promoting neurotransmitter. So when your gut is out of whack, your GABA levels plummet, making it even harder to achieve a restful night's sleep. It's like a cruel cosmic joke. The very substance you need to combat the anxiety caused by glyphosate is being sabotaged by the glyphosate itself. Now you might be thinking, so what? It's just a bad night's sleep. I'll just double down on the coffee and plow through the day. But sleep apnea is far more insidious than just feeling tired. This condition has been linked to many serious health problems, including high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, depression, and cognitive decline. Ignoring sleep apnea is like ignoring a ticking time bomb. You might get away with it for a while, but eventually, it's going to catch up with you. It's clear that the use of glyphosate in our food supply has far-reaching consequences, from damaging our nervous system to contributing to sleep apnea. The evidence is alarming. This isn't about jumping on a bandwagon or buying into fear-mongering. It's about connecting the dots, understanding the potential risks hidden in plain sight, and demanding better from the systems that dictate our health. It's time to take action and demand change. We need to support sustainable agriculture, advocate for stricter regulations on harmful herbicides, and prioritize our health over corporate profits. If you liked this video, please smash the like button and share it with friends and family. If you want to see more, including the real reason behind bladder leaks, erectile dysfunction, dementia, and more, subscribe and hit that bell notification. Stay informed, stay healthy, and check out this next video for a deeper dive into the rabbit hole. It's about a super AI machine batting elite globalists with a depopulation agenda.